Dame, it seemed like in the third quarter you had Brogdon and you really went after him defensively. I thought you showed energy in that quarter, and you showed I don't know. It almost looked like you were trying to set a tone defensively for your team, as well as what you were doing at the other end.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm capable of doing offensively, and that's never been our issue. And like I said after the last game, I haven't been my best. I haven't been my best offensively, but we just wanted to start this road trip off right, and I know that it's a lot of ways that I can change the game for our team. It's a lot of ways that I can set the tone and put our team on edge. And, Brogdon started the game. I think he had like 14 in the first quarter. And, I came back in the second quarter. And in that second quarter, I was like, I got him. We rearranged the matchups. And I was like, I got him. And my intention was just to get into the ball, just sell out on that end of the floor. They were shorthanded tonight. They didn't have Sabonis. They didn't have Miles Turner. And it was Karis LeVert and Malcolm Brogdon, that would, if it was going to be a disaster for us, it would have been those two to do it. So, I told CJ, you take Karis, and I'm going to take Malcolm. And I'm going to sit at half court. I'm going to wait for him. I'm getting over screens. I'm going to finish possessions. I'm going to chase him around. I'm going to be present. And we're going to set the tone of this trip off right. And, we're going to do it defensively, because if we do that against a shorthanded team like tonight, we're going to run away with this game. And I think when we picked up that intensity and that energy and the physicality, we ran off. I think at one point we went up 40, and the offense was coming much easier. Transition, we getting out, getting open threes. We started to get what we wanted when we kind of turned the heat up on defense. And this last, however many games it is, 11, 12 games, we're going to have to keep that heat on. Like I said before, we're not just going to all of a sudden become the world's best defensive team, but we can put our minds and our hearts into that, and commit to it and have a stretch. We can have a stretch, and we can click at the right time. And I've been in the league long enough to know that the teams that are playing the best at the right time are the teams that, you worry about, the teams that go into the postseason playing their best. So we just wanted to set the tone on that and, try to start this trip off right.
Adrian McCord, Coin.
Dame, you've talked about how it's really important to play with some pride, to play with some heart in these last 3 weeks in particular on the defensive end. Is that part of the tone that you wanted to set tonight, that you guys are coming out and fighting with everything you got?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be pretty. And things aren't going to turn into, peaches and cream because we want it to be better. You gotta be willing to be dirty, You gotta be willing to get your hands dirty. And we've always been able to, have big offensive games, but this year has been different than any other year for us. That means we gotta do something different. And we gotta try to figure it out in whatever way possible. And we can't be ashamed to be like a little bit desperate. I mean, we lost 5 games in a row. We haven't played well. None of us as a team, we haven't played well. Like, we got to be willing to be desperate and to have no shame in going out there and selling out. However it gets done, just get it done. And I think it was important for us to set the tone in that way in the first game of a big trip.
Aaron Fentress, the Oregon.
You had a few instances in the last few weeks while you were losing games where you did blow out teams that were either losing teams or down guys. This is another team that's under 500, down some key guys. Yeah. So what can you point to significantly that says, okay, we didn't just win this game by a lot because they were down an all-star and down a couple other guys. We won by a lot because we're turning a corner.
I mean, well, that is a big part of why we won this game. It was down an all-star and down their starting center. But I think the way we did it was what was different. I think against some of the other teams that were, maybe down a player or injured or below 500, at New Orleans, I had 40-something and 16. And at home against New Orleans, I ended up with 50 points. And it's been, just big things offensively for us typically. And I think tonight it was like what we did tonight is something that can translate to any game. Being committed on the defensive end and just wanting to get that done and wanting to do whatever we got to do to win. I think that's something that we can carry from this game. So I mean, there's no guarantee that it's going to always happen. We just got to have that same mentality going into this stretch of games. Like, this is what it takes. When you do this, you give yourself a much better chance than we have over the last few weeks.
Thanks.
Jamie Hudson, NBC Sports Northwest.
And what was it like to see Anthony get going from three like that? And what did you tell him after he hit his first field?
I mean, me and Ant talk all the time, and he knows that I'm his biggest supporter. We train together in the summer with Phil. Even during this season, over the last few years, when Phil is in town, we get work in, and we train, and we shoot at night after practice, the night before games and stuff like that, and we talk. And I just got a lot of confidence in him. I know how talented he is. I know how much ability he has, and when he gets in those positions, I'm just always trying to encourage him to keep going. Don't be shy. Don't worry about what people might think. Like, if you hot, the level of talent that you have, and the ceiling that he has, and how good he can be, we got to allow him to grow into that. And I think moments like tonight kind of play into that, when you just allow him to experience that. He got hot. He had 9 threes, and instead of saying, all right, you're the young guy and whatever, we trying to win the game, like, you got to let him roll and let him feel himself, and let him feel good about it. And I encourage him in that way, to where, like, be comfortable going out there, and you get hot, keep firing. I think he's pretty intelligent, and he realizes, like, if it's a close game and he's hot, he'll keep letting it come to him. He's not gonna go searching for the ball and try to force it. But I just encourage him to, keep playing confident, keep being aggressive, take what's there, and keep earning your minutes.
All right, we're going to stop there. We've got Anthony Simon coming up next. Thanks, Dan.